This Monday Night Football props and NFL Week 3 recap edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog, pick 'em or college or NFL, and win up to 20x in one game. Plus, every Sunday they're giving away $100,000. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. We're also brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SGP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code SGP. Finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Well, we overcame some adversity today, Sean.
Oh yeah.
As an organization, as a people, the man is clearly trying to target us in what can only be seen as a calculated.
So it was an attack
On God's eye.
Yeah, if you didn't see the tweets I fired off around, what was it? It was probably like the third quarter of the early games.
I know exactly what time it was because when I fired up the studio, 12:11.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we got it. The studio clock's all messed up. Damn it.
I know.
The jabrones that run the power grid here in Los Angeles knocked out the entire power. So
do we know what caused it?
No, of course. It's just who knows?
Do you think it was someone celebrating a win or loss? Maybe did maybe
I assure you it was not sports related if it was happening here in LA.
Oh wow. Great dig. I like that.
So immediately we pivoted. It was just Kramer, Decker, and I, and we were just sitting around watching Red Zone off my laptop for like a solid. I swear to God, the power came back on right as Red Zone was like, "Hey, it's just the Seahawks game right now." So,
Really?
okay. So now
wow.
when it's just one game.
I mean, if there was ever going to be a day where I had to get mobilized and watch some of the game from my phone in the back of my truck,
it wasn't. I mean, honestly though, because the once the 10 a.m. games finished, just watching Red Zone because there was nothing really to watch in Bears Chiefs, and then the Seattle game, they were doing a good job of cutting in on action, and then the Cardinals Cowboys, which I'm sure we will get to. I'm sure our buddy Serial, aka the one good Cowboy fan, will be calling in.
hopefully,
and saying,
I hope he's all right.
apologizing for predicting that the. I tried to talk him out of it. I tried to tell him,
I'm here for you, not like Sean. I'm here for you, buddy.
Oh man,
we all have low moments.
Yes, we've all lost to the Jonathan Gannon-led Arizona Cardinals. Who?
Oh, actually, no.
That's a storyline we've been on the entire time. This Cardinals team is not tanking. Everyone, maybe I just listened to too many fantasy analytics show that they take their takes from the NBA. This isn't the
it's worked for the Sixers.
This isn't the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not trusting the process. Everyone on that Cardinals team was playing their ass off. Yeah, they blew that Giants game, and they blew that Commanders game. There's a world where this
they
team
didn't blow it. Daniel Jones came back and won the game.
They're not that far off from 3-0, and they're playing their asses off. Their defense is pretty solid. I'm kicking myself for not playing the money line, but
I know
a lot of big dogs. Kramer, of course, on the Houston Texans. Massive hit for the.
Hopefully, it wasn't just me. We literally, it's a flow chart. I explained it. It's very like the app. The output matches the process. It's both delightful, and the game went as any flowchart game goes. weird shit happens.
Yes, exactly.
And the Jags looked like a team that was just there to hang out in the hot tub.
Making bacon in the chat saying, thanks Sean for the Adam Thielen prop. Yes, he cashed that 3 receptions. I think it was like early end of first quarter, early second quarter. I'm kicking myself for not laddering it. Shout out to Kyle P in the pregame show. Gave out, I think 5 catches or 6 catches was like plus 300.
Yeah.
It was a bonkers price for the guy that clearly was going to be their guy the entire time. I'm just sitting there kicking myself. Like, why did I not do Adam Thielen 10 catches, reverse correlate it with Seattle laying the points? That could have been so juicy. But you know, that's how gambling goes.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers really need Bryce Young to hurry up and get healthy fat. I think they're just going to keep him. Does he come back from this ankle injury this year?
They were
or do we have a Zion situation?
Even the announcers were going, yeah, you know, abundance of caution, and they felt really, really good with Andy Dalton. You benched him.
The fuck?
You benched him because you didn't want to put him in that hostile crowd environment. You saw, I mean, Andy Dalton did give them a much better chance. Seattle ended up covering, but even Andy Dalton, a veteran, was struggling to get the snap in, and that really did play a big difference. You're the key 4th down. They had an illegal shift, probably caused by crowd noise. So Seattle is always a tough place to go play. It didn't feel great laying the points with Geno, but ultimately he got home.
That's my response to that.
Kramer, we got an awesome Monday night slate coming up, and you know what we're gonna be eating in the studio. Little Caesars. Oh man, it's just a game day ritual. I was trying to think back.
Just boring old pizza, right?
No, it's Little Caesars. I'm in love with the pretzel crust, and you get the Little Caesars wings. I have not had the cookie dough brownies. The cookie dough brownies are on my list. I'm going to make it happen tomorrow night. I'm going to order up a feast. Little Caesars. I was trying to think back because I have so many memories, even growing up as a kid, eating Little Caesars, getting down on crazy bread. I can't tell you how many Eagles games I've watched with my dad. Just housing a Little Caesars. Little Caesars is awesome too because the decision is very simple. Just keep it simple. Go to Little Caesars. It's truly is a lead pipe lock when it comes to game day foods. Official pizza of the NFL. Official pizza of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Pizza, baby. Love me some Little Caesars. Kramer, we got a lot to get through. Obviously, recapping the entire NFL Week 3, and then doubleheader Monday night. We're going to give out 5 props and 2 sets of first touchdowns.
Do they still use that little fella with the spear and the pizzas at the tip?
I'll have to ask. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's all over the place.
Can we get a meeting? Can we get a meeting with the little
I
guy?
do like the box is pretty sweet. They have, I think his name is Nero. Maybe I'm making a guess here, but they got the Little Caesars guy doing a Heisman thing. I will hopefully when I order it tomorrow that they have that same box, because I will pose next to the Little Caesars guy and you can say who did it better. Caesar wings are very good as well.
You must be referencing Nero, Claudius, Caesar, Augustus, Germius, born Lucius Domitius, a long ass fucking name, in the year 37 AD, Sean, the final emperor of the Julio Claudian dynasty. I mean, I assume that's who you're referencing.
Yes. Bradley in the chat saying you guys were all over the Texans, Cardinals, and Colts. Yes, we were. Again, kicking myself for not putting that out as a money line round robin, but I did have it in some money line parlays because Kramer was on it as a dog.
Did you want to? We do have a caller who's here to gloat.
Okay, gloating.
Do we want to wait for the game, or do we want to just have him on now?
Well, the SpaceX line is open, so at Gambling Podcast, follow us on X, and you can take your calls.
Just add the pause though. The space X
line is open. What game will they be discussing, Ryan?
The Detroit Atlanta game.
Okay, yeah, let's get to that.
All right. Well, yes, sir.
We can skip ahead to the Detroit Lions winning 20-6. I'm not going to be, I told you so, Ryan. I did say that if Desmond Ridder went on the road and had a great game, I would give him props. So not going to give him props.
Okay. I mean, again, here you are with negative energy towards the circa millions entry.
No, I was pretending to root for the Falcons for most.
How'd your other entry go?
I went 4-0.
Oh, wow.
Is Easy on the line? Let's get Easy on.
He
him.
is on the line.
Easy. Okay, he was a little low there.
Oh, I'm
Joining
sorry.
us
Hold on.
on the line.
Turn him up a little
Detroit Lions super fan. Easy. Yeah. I was with you and your Lions. You had called me a Lions hater previously, but I was all over the Lions in this spot. Walk us through the game. Feel free to gloat.
Well, so before anything else, I just want to ask Kramer where his Falcons jersey is.
Listen,
we're gonna have a jersey burning. There's a pile of Virginia Tech jerseys with the Falcons jersey.
Oh, Vic has nothing to do with this. I realized I was getting a little excited, and yeah, look, it wasn't. Detroit played well. I'll give them their roses. I think I said to Sean, they're playing like a team that doesn't want to start the year 0-2 at home.
Well, and I'll say this too, in Kramer's defense of his love of the Falcons, I do think them at home against certain teams, there could be some value, because I think if there's a game where they can run the ball, play good defense at home, they still probably will be underpriced. I thought this was a bounce back spot for the Lions. Lions got a nice win there, but Easy, what's your take?
Yeah, so the biggest takeaway for me obviously was the defense.
Yeah,
I mean we finally got to the quarterback, which is really all our defense can do.
Yeah.
So that was a huge step forward, especially Aiden Hutchinson actually getting back there. And we have like 3 guys out on defense right now too. So the fact that our backups actually came in and looked competent, I think is a good look towards the future too.
Yeah, Monra had a good game. I thought, he had 9 for 102. So I didn't think he would go off quite as well as he did. Gibbs, nothing crazy, but a nice 17 for 80. Sam Laporta though, breakout game for him. He had a lot of it on that one big catch, 8 for 84 and a touchtown. He
was in the. I assume he was in the Millie Maker. He was in
the
many
Millie Maker
is
a bonkers lineup.
Was it Laporta?
I don't know if he was in there. Maybe.
Interesting, because I saw a lot of the high stakes stuff had Laporta.
To me, Easy. The thing that I was worried about back in the Lions was their run defense. Even Kramer stood up and at one point goes, "Oh, what? The Lions could stop the run now?" I thought that was pretty surprising, because that's going to be the Falcons' game plan.
Arthur Smith does this thing where he forgets that he likes to run the ball. And I haven't been that focused in on him as a coach, but I'm very focused right now. And yeah, but his play calling is, I was screaming about it in the Packers game, Sean. You obviously are hearing me. You're just I think somehow Dan Campbell may have outcoached Arthur Smith. That was maybe at the end of the day where they won it, because that dominant performance. I would even go, honest take, they probably should have won by more than 14.
Oh, they definitely should have won by more than 14. But I'll take the win. Another big spot on defense, and to the point of the run game that you were saying, I don't think our run defense is that bad. It's not going to be the best in the league, but the main part of that is the rookie linebacker that we have, Branch. Yeah. He's been great the first 3 weeks, and I think there's an outside shot that he could win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Ooh.
Oh wow! Super dark horse.
We should always we don't want to talk about something without creating actionable information. So let's see if they got this pulled up right here.
Yeah, because he not only is he good in the run game, but he can also go out and cover the slot. So he's got interception capability too.
So he right now, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Carter plus 190, Will Anderson plus 450, Christian Gonzalez plus 850, and then you have Ivan Pace, Emmanuel Forbes, and Brian Branch all 20-1.
Ooh, yeah, all right, talking me into it. Thanks for calling in, Easy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate y'all.
Nice.
Was that a lion?
Yeah, that's your lion sound effect. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Chargers 28, Minnesota Vikings 24. This was I was kind of worried for our buddy Justin Decker's health, because one, it was very stressful watching this game on my laptop. Both of us sitting on the couch, he's
so mad at Brad. He's so mad at the coach.
He's just so
mad at the coach.
It's like he gets like this Joker laugh.
Doesn't want him to win. Oh, we're calling the timeout.
When it was 4th and 1 on their own 25, and they went for it. Decker goes, he's trying to lose his job. He's trying to lose it. He's self-sabotaging. He's trying to lose his job. And he just lost his freaking mind when they didn't get it. He's like stomping all over the place. I go, oh man. Luckily the coffee shop below closed because of the power outage, but Decker was I was, even though I picked the Vikings, Kramer, you had the correct pick on the Chargers.
You're welcome.
I picked the Vikings just thinking, I mean, I've never seen two teams who actively tried so hard to lose this game. It was wild.
Vikings still, I mean, it's comical how they keep, now they're just going to lose every one score game.
They have
the
lost.
nerds are just like, oh, it's happening so fast. Oh.
They have lost 4 one-score games in a row. It's amazing. And then
Keenan Allen, also nice arm.
Keenan Allen with the touchdown pass.
Nice arm.
Great DFS play. I think I gave it out, but some bad news for the Chargers. One, their cornerback JC Jackson, who signed a 5-year, $82.5 million contract. He was healthy and active versus the Vikings. I have no idea what's going on there. And then, unfortunately, Mike Williams went out with an injury. There's some rumors on Twitter that it is a blown ACL. So the guy who rejected our trade, which included Mike Williams, has got to be feeling bad.
You can't believe everything you read on Twitter. I mean, last week there were a lot of rumors swirling around the Bears. Can't believe it all.
Yeah.
We do have another caller, Sean. If we
Fire it up.
It's a friend of the program and Steelers, I guess, super fan. Cam Kerr.
Yeah, usually we start with the Sunday night game, but
I was gonna say I felt like we hopped right over it because I don't know. The most memorable moment for me was Jimmy G getting fucking planted.
Yes, that was a horrible call. The illegal blow to the head. There was, I mean, the refs really were trying to keep people involved in Sunday Night Football. Steelers end up getting the win, 23-18. Nice win for us in the Circa Millions. I had it as my money line dog. And joining us on the line, Steelers super fan, producer for the Golf Gambling Podcast, amongst many other gigs at SGPN, Cameron Kerr. Who, Cameron, I saw you tweet out your underdog fantasy lineup. That must have been an incredible sweat.
Oh man, that was one of the best sweats I've had since I hit the 100-1 Will Zalatoris at the St. Jude last year. Oh my gosh, the first couple legs were pretty much sweat free. I mean, so if you haven't gone to Underdog, use promo code SGPN, get that double deposit bonus, right?
Up to $500. Yes.
Yeah, and they have some spicy lines on there, which I had never seen before. It had a little like pepper next to it. Yeah. And I was like, all right.
Kramer discovered those as well.
We were in the Burbank airport. It was like, oh, what are these? I need to fire.
Well, we need
up.
to update the ad rates because previously it was 20 to X, but when you put in the spicy ones,
I got to 100. I got to 100.
Walk us through yours, Cameron, because you got it up to 91 to 1.
Yeah, so I ended up getting it to like 91.82 somehow. So I had Josh Allen over a half rushing or receiving touchdown, and then I had the same for Lamar at 0.5. So those were both 1.5x, and then I had a 1.75x for Kirk Cousins to throw over 2.5 passing touchdowns.
Oh man!
So that ended up hitting, even though they got stopped on the like goal line twice in the fourth quarter. Then the last two were Andy Dalton over 212 passing yards or something like that, which he ended up throwing the ball like 50 times.
Yeah,
so
that was bonkers.
Easy cash. And then it came down to Jaylen Warren over 48.5 receiving and rushing yards on Sunday Night Football, and he ended up getting it in the beginning of the fourth quarter with a little 4-yard shuttle pass out to the left, and he was able to hold it in, even though I was sweating until the end because he ended up losing 2 yards.
Oh no!
At the very end.
Yeah, because I see he has 52 total yards, and you had it at what, 48.5 or
48.5. The line.
Man.
If I hadn't have tweeted it out on Friday night, I would have gotten 51.5.
Oh man!
Which was what it was at on this, like, before the game went off. Absolutely incredible sweat. Really good day. I think I went 3-2, hit Texans first half money line with you guys, and yeah, man.
Where were you when you hit this underdog bet, and how did you celebrate?
So my kids were asleep, so it was a very
a muted celebration.
I basically like jumped around the room, but I wasn't yelling at all. I was just like, yes, 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 like that sort of deal, like whispering.
Oh,
and my
yeah.
wife was like, "If you wake the kid up, he's all yours."
Probably like a low fist pump too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a good 2 laps around the whole living room.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a nice hit. I mean, 90 and change to 1. Nice.
Yeah. So it was a $10 bet, paid out about $920. So nice little hit. Shout out Underdog Fantasy.
Hell yeah. Imagine not signing up for Underdog. Cameron, well, make sure you follow Cameron on Twitter, AKX at Cameron Kerr. Check out the Golf Gambling Podcast.
Yes.
And congrats to your Steelers. Nice catch.
Yeah. One more thing about the Steelers. Defense. If we even have a somewhat competent offense, I think our ceiling is Super Bowl.
Well, and also if you're playing coaches like Josh McDaniels, I think that's really key. I mean, the fact that last exchange, I go to Kramer, I go, they can't be kicking a field goal. They kick the field goal. Then there's the bullshit like phantom leverage personal foul that the refs are using, and then
turned out to be good.
Then they run out more clock, and then they kick another field goal in 4th and 4. I look at Kramer, I'm like, don't accept the penalty if you're going to settle for another field goal.
So dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand kind of, because we couldn't run the ball at all. Like Najee Harris, like I'm kind of done with him. He doesn't look good. He looks scared to run.
Explosive. Yeah, very hesitant.
Jalen Warren is just an absolute dog, through some insane blocks that got the first touchdown pass to Calvin Austin. I mean, he can do it all. He can run. He's not scared to run up the middle. He can that design screen for whatever 18 yards that won me my bet was, oh my gosh, masterful. I mean, I think Matt Canada opened up the playbook a little bit. I'd like to see, that first quarter be better, get our first drive into the red zone at least. But we made some progress. We made it to the red zone at least. That was the first time
congrats
of the season. And we got a touchdown out of it. So, I mean, we're making some progress.
Sean, remember when I said he was mini Austin Eckler and you made fun of me?
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great comp.
No, he's looking good. I was thinking this could be a good year for Najee, but he looks like he's
dust.
I thought it was because of that foot injury. I thought he would be looking much better, but yeah, not the case. But it goes back to the simple trend of, is TJ Watt playing? Then probably a good bet to take the Steelers money line.
I'd say their ceiling is 12 wins, right on my prediction.
Yeah,
that was we're there, Sean.
Still on the Steelers train. All right, thanks, Cameron.
Great. Let it ride, guys.
Let it ride. All right, moving the slate along. Cleveland Browns 27, Tennessee Titans 3. I should have figured out a different lock here for the Titans. I'm just infatuated with that team, but I have to just come to the fact that their offense is pretty shitty, especially on the road. And I think one of the big takeaways, big picture for me, is this Cleveland Browns defense is on another level. They really are. And as you know, Deshaun Watson did make a couple plays here, but to me, it's just like, if they can keep playing defense like this, they might win some games in spite of Deshaun Watson not really looking like a franchise quarterback.
I mean, everything was on brand here.
Yeah.
The running back for the Browns scored a couple touchdowns. They were able to beat the Titans deep, like everyone is able to beat the Titans deep. And yeah, it didn't matter. I would imagine the Titans offense is what other people see when they watch the Giants. I would imagine I was making that connection today. Just the Cleveland Browns defensive line just makes the game very difficult for whoever they're playing. And when we previewed the Browns, we discussed them as this high floor team, Stefanski, high floor coach, and wondered if Watson would provide too much variance. You might be right, Sean. He threw a ball backwards today.
Oh,
He threw the ball backwards, and it didn't impact at the outcome at all.
And you're saying that. I wish maybe Josh can find the clip. If not, I'll do a reenactment. But he
said, "Fuck it, I'm throwing it that way."
It's not like, hey, one of those bubble screens where it's a little backwards. He was going downfield, made an abrupt 180, and then whipped it backwards. Yes, look at this clip. Yeah, YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast.
Smash! One more time, let that run through. I mean, like did he lose his orientation? He's like, fuck it.
Even if he completes it, best case scenario, you're adding 5 yards to the loss. It is bonkers.
All right. So you're telling me this is the same guy that he was still searching for that perfect masseuse. Doesn't look like he puts a lot of thought into decisions. Yeah, I don't know. The defensive line's really good. The first snap they allowed in the red zone was allowed because of a play that not the defense gave up. They then immediately pushed the Titans out of the red zone and forced them to to 3 points, the only points they would score in the game.
Yes.
So are the Browns the best defense in the league? Is that why we're going to have Watson make the playoffs?
I mean, it was funny because that Steelers game, the only reason they lost was because they gave up the offense gave up 2 touchdowns. Otherwise, it would have been a blowout in Pittsburgh.
You could argue they should be 3-0. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm not saying that because Deshaun Watson turnovers are going to be an issue, but I think at home against inferior offenses like the Titans is a great spot for them.
Prediction. Much like, by the way, Sean, our greatest tout of the weekend, not a plus 320 money line winner. Not producer Josh, just absolutely slaying the slate.
Producer Josh nailed his lock, dog, and tease. Clean slate for producer Josh.
Our tout telling the world Friday night on VSiN that the Denver Broncos were going to be the square sharp play of the week. So a little context before our show, we go on. There's we'll just call it like an experts league. It's
a Football Friday Invitational.
The Football Friday Invitational, and it's a bunch of by invitation only, kind of like the college football playoff. Handicappers, and they're all a lot of these guys in this invitational playing for like 25 grand, picking the Denver Broncos plus the points. And Sean and I are in the back room, just like, holy shit, this is the too cute play ever. And
well,
then
even our producer, Dan,
I was going to say that Dan,
he's like, we've had 3 guests come on and they all love Broncos plus 6.5.
He pushed harder on the fact that all of the quote unquote pros were hitting Denver, and oh my God.
Well, let's get to that game, Ryan. The pros got destroyed.
Oh my
Miami
God.
Dolphins 70, Denver Broncos 20.
70?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they could have scored 73 and set the NFL record, but they did the classy thing and kneeled it out. I
don't think class was behind. Like this was intentful. This was an attack. Sean, they said they had 2 running backs score 4 touchdowns each, and Tyreek Hill got in the end zone. I mean, this is this is a video game result.
I mean, how the defense for the Denver Broncos has gotten this much worse it's mind-boggling. I get Dolphins winning again. We were both on the Dolphins. But to this, Dolphins set the NFL record 726 yards on offense.
That's a video game. That's like a Madden line.
Sean Payton super fired up. He's very angry.
Maybe he's
got to go home and hit his bong. But
whoa!
How does the defense look this much worse? And what really makes this even crazier is how bad the Broncos just lost by 50 points, right? Setting all sorts of NFL records in incompetence. Next week they play the Chicago Bears. They are 3-point road favorites.
They're not even a close drive special.
That's how. Yes, because immediately when I saw the score, I go, "Oh shit, we're gonna have to play the Broncos next week." Wait, who do the Broncos have? The Bears? Wait, and they're favorites?
They double. They would have been the first ever double close your eyes special. They underperformed by over 42. They underperformed by over 6 touchdowns.
It's crazy because I was looking at our fantasy team, Ryan, and We have Raheem Mostert, who's going off, obviously. And then you're like, oh, what do we get right? What do we get wrong? And I go, well, we actually should have also played Devin Achane because.
Well, what we got right was me seeing that some dumbass dropped them and be like, yeah, this is interesting. Holy shit. I mean, what, 8 touchdowns, an explosion.
It was crazy.
Mostert, I think, was in most of them.
You have to know when to come.
And or Achane were in the winner lineups too. I mean, how could you not have a 4 touchdown performance?
And then
8 touchdowns from running backs.
We have a clip here of Garrett Bowles, Broncos offensive lineman, who he cannot take it anymore. The losing.
Oh, he looks so sad.
He really. This is a great meme.
Shit. Shit. It's tired of losing, man. I've been here for 7 years and all I've done is loss, and it's frustrating.
Right now, what are the emotions like going through your head personally?
What a loser.
Shit.
What are the emotions like? Shit.
What a loser.
This is just the most all-time football guy. I don't know what you do from here. I guess Sean, you got to play Jared Stidham.
I do have an update because I know there was a lot made of in hindsight of the revenge angles in this Miami Denver game, whether it was Tua feeling like he had been disrespected by Sean Payton in the media, whether it was Vic Fangio by feeling like he was disrespected by not giving a real shot at the head coaching job, or one that I completely missed on, Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Feeling he was snubbed for a head coaching interview.
YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast. Mike McDaniel rocking double earrings.
Oh.
And I guess he was back in the day, the Broncos ball boy.
Mile high.
Has some
100%.
Woo, it's smoking my weed.
But this is just like a classic early 2000s photo.
But that wasn't the first beef that Sean Payton had started WWE style.
Yeah.
He had been beefing with Nathaniel Hackett. So I wanted to update everyone. After 3 games last year, Nathaniel Hackett was 2-1. They didn't give up 70 points to anyone.
Not historic losses.
I mean, who are we kidding? This is the most unbelievable shit ever. You know how many points they gave up through 3 games last year? 36.
36.
36.
Well,
they gave up 2 times that one game.
I gave out when we were doing the Broncos preview.
How many points?
I gave out as one of my, because I was thinking, if the Broncos defense is really good, I don't think their offense is going to be good, but they might be able to win some games. Defense keeps them in it. I gave out Broncos fewest points allowed as one of our like long shot props, and man, that is not looking good.
I mean, this is all right. They gave up 105, and the Raiders 17 is looking less impressive. They gave up 122 points, Sean.
It's just bonkers. All right, Kramer, got more games to get to, but before we do that, shout out to Manscaped. Oh man, Manscaped is back. I love Manscaped. I've been using it all over my body for so many years. Manscaped's been on the podcast so many times. They love the fact anytime we can chat about Manscaped. Love it. And this is crazy. So for years you knew them as the below the waist guys, but now they're moving above the waist. They're going to the North Pole. That's right. They got the brand new Handyman electric face shaver. We just watched Jimmy G. That stubble look, and I've just started using it. It's great. It's what chicks dig. Ask Jimmy G. He's in the VIP Hustler. They gave him the VIP Hustler Club for entire life, probably because of his amazing stubbly look. That's what chicks dig. They like the stubbly look, and it's tough to get it dialed in. You got to do like a wet shave every other day and find that like perfect stubbly look. Manscaped, though, they got you covered with the brand new Handyman. Handyman skin safe technology helps reduce nicks and cuts. Feel confident when going in for that close shave. And they also have the beard hedger. I also do the little beard hedging. Love that. Again, if you trusted Manscaped with your balls, you got to trust it with your face. So love Manscaped, high quality products. And when you use our promo code 20% off and free shipping, the code SGP at manscaped.com, 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the promo code SGP. Also, the travel size, the travel size package just makes it that much easier. That is, as guys going to Vegas every Friday night for the VSiN shows, having some stuff like the Beard Hedger, like the Handyman Skin Safe, wet dry shave. There, it is just makes it so much better. So Manscaped.com, promo code SGP. Kramer, of course, your Texans 37-17 win over the Jags. They just look like the better team. There were a couple. There was that wonky play where it was the they tried to do like one of those pop up kickoffs, and then the fullback was there on the kick return team. He muffed it and then took it to the house. But we were on the Texans. We like the Texans. We told you this is a flow. This is a really this is a crowning achievement for the flow chart. Division games. If you're getting massive dogs and there's a history of them hanging around, you're crazy not to play it.
People have warned us that witchcraft is illegal in California. It's not witchcraft. This is some shit you can throw on a PowerPoint. All right. We got a one box and then another box and an arrow pointing one direction. That's how these flow charts work. This is some basic shit. I was out at a youth sporting event watching the tail end of this. I guess it was already decided, and we were kind of discussing the idea of betting on football, which is, you always kind of have to like tiptoe around it, and then you realize, okay, you like to bet. We'll talk about it. And my big takeaway was, like, in certain matchups, you get these fucking nerds who they galaxy brain themselves into suggesting, you know what's a great bet this year? Smash all your money. Don't put it in that Roth IRA. Put it on the Jags to win the division, minus 160. Same price as Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So and then what you see? D'Amico Ryans looking fucking buff as shit in that tight shirt he was wearing, looking like he wanted to play. I mean, the fact that this came down 9.5 to 7.5 tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, sharps like us all over it.
Sharps all over it.
Damian Pierce anytime touchdown, that cash from the props show.
I mean,
Tank Dell had a massive game, and to me, CJ Stroud looked good. And again, as guys who were not high on the Jags, Trevor Lawrence struggled. I don't think they're this elite team. He was 27 of 40, 279, threw a pick. I mean, Christian Kirk, 54 receiving yards and a touchdown. That was a nice little fantasy play we talked about. But I just thought I thought this was a great win for the Texans.
Both teams looking to London lost.
Yes,
worth noting.
Wait, it's Jags, and then who was the other team?
Falcons.
No, you forgot to mention that, Ryan.
I forgot to mention that. Now that's why I said both teams. Carry on.
New England Patriots 15, New York Jets.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
There's not a lot to report about this game. I think this sums up the entire game and the entire season for the Jets. Veteran quarterbacks Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz have both reached out personally to the Jets, expressing interest in joining the team. Jets, however, looking to stick with Zach Wilson. Patriots did not look good.
It's embarrassing.
As we said, not going to look good. Not going to be pretty.
Mac Jones is bad.
They will get the win. They will get the cover. We picked it at 3, so that was pushing for most of the game. I actually bet it when we were at the Circa at minus 2.5.
Nice.
So that's
some CLV.
Well, I mean,
how you feeling?
Well, good. I like winning.
Nothing like beating a number like that. Fucking loser books.
I was slightly worried about 3, but felt way better about 2.5. Didn't end up mattering because Zach Wilson took a safety.
Sean, if we could just take a moment,
Sure.
I want to read some names off to you, because we just Mac Jones. Just looking back on the draft that was 2021, Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
In the one hole.
Okay.
Then Zach Wilson. Woo. Then you know what number 3 was? Trey Lance.
Yes.
Ready? It gets better. Number 4, Kyle Pitts. No, I mean, oh yes, pull this up, Josh. I mean, Jamar Chase, okay.
He's
Waddle, Penei Sewell, all good. J.C. Horn, good. Patrick Surtain, good. Devonta Smith, good. Then Justin Fields. Quarterbacks are struggling. Then it's Micah. You're talking about like a bunch of great other players: Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, Elijah Vera Tucker, Mac Jones. These Kadarius Toney a couple picks later, by the way. Who won the Justin Fields Kadarius Toney trade? Who fucking knows? No one won. Najee Harris in this draft class, but yeah, those.
If you didn't watch a game, to me the most interesting play was that final Hail Mary. That thing had a chance. Zach Wilson got it to the end zone. I forget who knocked it, but it almost went into Randall Cobb's hands for a touchdown, which obviously would have been a horrible outcome. As I had a nice wager on that, it being one of my locks.
Keeps the streak. What did we learn? 2,000 plus days since the Jets have beaten the Patriots. Carry on.
Don't overthink some of this.
Not
stuff. even
Capper and Cousin Mush could take it down. It's a very strong
Cousin
trend.
Mush did his best.
Wait, I do have. I should. Let's see here. At some point he sent me a. He did give me a report on one of our tout friends who did give out Denver. So it was definitely the score sharp. But at some point during the day, I got a text that was Cousins cousined, and so
yes,
I didn't know if he was referring to himself or Kirk Cousins, but made me laugh.
He ended with game ended with a Cousins interception. Oh, and of course, youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. If you missed it on the broadcast, a fan went viral for yelling and his dentures at Zach Wilson, and his dentures flew out. I almost feel bad for this guy. Like, come on, let the guy, just a guy yelling at Zach Wilson. Oh, they had it all over the broadcast.
Do you think he was maybe Zach Wilson went after his lady? You think he was unrelated to the football?
Does like those Cougs.
Slippery when wet, that guy.
Green Bay Packers 18, New Orleans Saints 17. So Kramer, when we picked this, you got it the Saints +2, so you got to win.
Sharp.
This ended up closing Packers as a 1-point dog. I unfortunately bet it at -1, so I'll take the push because it didn't seem like they had any business winning this game. They did now have Packers have won 11 home straight. They knocked Derek Carr out of the game. It seems like a shoulder separation. We'll see. This is a great nugget though. Jameis Winston threw for more yards today, 101 yards, than Justin Fields. Winston didn't enter the game until about halfway through the third quarter, and Justin Fields was playing the entire game almost in garbage time.
Oh my God, free Jameis.
Jordan Love, I thought definitely struggled. Would be my takeaway, but came up with some big throws late. So I think if you just grade the first half of the game, or like first 3 quarters, it was like a C-, but came up big when he needed to. I'm still skeptical, but nice win for the Pack.
I think he's not looking good in the advanced stuff. I think he's one of those guys that it's like the reason why it's happening few and far between is because he is very inconsistent.
Yeah, and the Jair Alexander, he was banged up. I think when we picked it, that injury, like he got injured in practice later on.
But they played they've now played. They beat the shit out of the Bears, and they played 2 coin flip games.
Yeah,
without Aaron Jones or Christian Watson. So
if those guys get healthy, I think I feel good right now with the Packers
to win division.
Yeah, at 4-1.
I'm
glad because I was really going either or them or Vikings, and I did have them and Vikings as like that 1-2 at +750. Glad though I at least also have the Packers at +400. But nice bounce back win for the Lions as well. Probably too early to look at futures unless you had like the Bears and anything. Those you can just rip up.
Well, be careful because remember when the Bears fans were 3? Was it 3-2 last year or was it 3-3? Telling me they weren't. That my 3-14 prediction was bullshit. They haven't won a game since.
Yeah,
I should start finding those receipts and placing some accountability on these people. They jinx their own Bears.
Why don't we? Well, no, we'll get to the another game here. Buffalo Bills 37, Washington Commanders 3. I'm pissed at myself. When I was doing the research, I was like, yeah, this is setting up for the Bills. But then I was like, Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over, which he did.
Yeah, he did.
But it didn't end up mattering because Sam Howell, who I kind of felt like was a fraud, but then I go, oh man, he went into Denver and took down that Denver defense. Now in hindsight, Now in hindsight, only putting up 35 against Denver is pretty shitty.
Tua's throwing right-handed no-look passes against this defense.
So obviously, all the Bills fans, Ryan, they're coming in the mentions. You had mentioned their run game not being good, but this to me was more about.
Well, I didn't see them running the ball in this game. That wasn't Josh Allen scrambling.
This to me was more about just how bad. Well, Sam Howell killed this game. I think 4 interceptions.
I thought the defense. They were playing in a frustrating manner that was allowing the receivers to get open if Josh Allen had time, and Josh Allen's great at creating time. And so maybe not the right scheme, but even with all of that, it did seem they were able to bottle up the traditional running game. And you think about how many times how many times did he have a turnover in the red zone? I mean, 2 of those turnovers came on drives where they were going to score points.
Yeah, 4 interceptions and 1 was a pick six.
Not suggesting there'd be anything different, but yeah, you can't do that. And maybe this is the welcome to the NFL game where it's like, dude, at some point you have to stop. Like when you're just saying fuck it in college, maybe that works. In the NFL, dudes, pick your shit off.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I would concede that the Bills defense is definitely good. And their pass rush is real. And so, and honestly, their offensive line to look that good against the Commanders defensive front, I guess we have to consider them a favorite again. But I do have a big note that I don't think we've addressed on the podcast.
Sure.
DeMar Hamlin has not played a snap.
Yep.
John Mechie now has been productive in 2 NFL games this year. Is cancer going to defeat death? In comeback player of the year.
I still like DeMar Hamlin.
Really?
Well,
I mean, at what point are you getting a little nervous? Like maybe this is, and honestly, we have to maybe put our hand up because Zion could end up playing basketball before DeMar Hamlin plays football.
No, DeMar Hamlin's playing.
He's not playing. He hasn't played yet.
He'll play. All right. So the Bills play the Bengals November 5th in a primetime game. If the Bills go to that game and they don't make a big deal about DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin is not mentioned at all. Then I'll get worried.
Okay.
If they make the entire broadcast about how amazing it is that he's alive and they have him come out and do the coin toss and some ceremonial couple plays and they mention how he fucking died last year and now he's alive, then I feel better about it. Come at me with your comeback player of the years after November 5th. If they have that primetime game in Cincinnati, the same stadium where he died and they stopped the game, and he's not mentioned, then I'll get worried.
Died and resurrected.
Yes.
There is one market in the awards market that is not currently being served up.
What is it?
Comeback player of the year.
Oh, they truth's out there.
He's a deep fake. They would never put a deep fake back in the game. This confirms the truth. Reptilian deep fake.
Colts 22, Ravens 19. My boy Minshew. This is a kind of bonkers game. Well, Ryan, also too, we kind of, I forgot to mention it. We breezed by it in the Jags game, but hopefully you listen to our Miami play in Survivor if you're in a Survivor pool, because between the Jags, the Ravens, the Cowboys, and we haven't even gotten to the Cowboys. It was just a bloodbath out there for Survivor. Luckily, we're still surviving, Ryan. But I bring up the Circa Millions.
I'm looking at it right here.
Survivor.
So, all right, perfect, Josh.
2,400 people, number one pick. What is the percentage there? It was like 40%.
Almost 41% on the Jags out. And mind you, we've already dropped like 30 some odd % of the field. So 41% on the Jags, another 10.5% on the Ravens.
Damn.
You had the Cowboys,
even
at
Cowboys
6.2%. You had the Raiders. I mean, 20. And guess what, Sean? 8 didn't pick this week. How'd you get to this point and still not pick?
One guy had the Vikings. One guy had the Falcons. One guy had the Saints. So
yeah. So going into this week, we started with 92-67, and
coming into this week.
No, in the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
And we lost, I believe, 2,000 over the first. I think we were down 30%. I thought I was looking at the right numbers. I'm not. Anyway, the point being, Sean, we're down to. I think I saw the implied value of our entry has gone up to over $3,000. So
wow, hype train.
I mean, honestly, this is the kind of thing that gets you too confident and steers you off the path.
We're not touching our thing. We're straight.
Yep.
Straight shooters.
Yep. Just sew us into the bed under the sheets. We're not touching anything.
So the Colts Ravens game, this was a crazy game. It was just kind of like an ugly, sloppy game. Glad I didn't take the Ravens there because Lamar's a favorite, just didn't get it done. He kind of struggled. Justin Tucker missed the 61-yard field goal. Where's your swag now, Justin Tucker? Matt Gay. Imagine a game where they get out kicked. Matt Gay became the first kicker in history to make 4 50+ field goals in one game. Made a 53-yard game winner to beat the Ravens at OT on the road. There was like a no call and a 4th down. If you're a Ravens guy, if you're a Ravens survivor, you were probably super pissed about. But this was just an ugly game. Like they let the Colts hang around. Colts had a couple plays, and it was weird. I'm going to bring up when it happened, but the Colts took a safety. Minshew stepped out of the back of the end zone.
I heard that on the radio, and it was like, oh my god! All I could think of was that Orlowski or whoever.
Oh yeah, everyone was
donkey running out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think when it was because our buddy CJ Man the Box, unfortunately, I think was on the Ravens in Survivor and was super upset about the fact that the taking the safety ended up helping them. It's because it was 17-16. Ravens were up with 2:34 left in the game. They take a safety, and it was like right away. It was 2 plays. They end up getting safety, not intentionally, and then that forces a 3 and out. And then they were able to go down and kick the field goal and send it to overtime. Ravens still had a chance, and again, I think that's when he missed the. Tucker missed the 61-yarder.
Yeah.
To go into overtime.
You don't make them all.
No, you don't.
Tucker.
Sorry, Tucky.
So going into the week, Sean, 5,924 entries were made.
Wow.
Started with 90, they said the number I said earlier, like 9,200. So 9,267. And so we've already now dropped, like we said, 2,400 on the Jags and another 600 on the so 3,000 right there gone. I mean, we're on. It's us and Cousin Mush had a great text earlier. He goes, "Should we get the group thread going now, so we can just split the? You guys
trying to hurry chop up the Survivor 3 weeks in?
Chop this shit right now or what?
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, what a day what a start to the season for the Survivor. I mean, Sean, we said we're not going to overthink it.
No. We'll see. 3 weeks in, and again, it really is you versus the NFL schedule. So it's great to see people get knocked out, but we're just taking it one game at a time.
All these game theory dumbasses getting knocked out with like the fucking. I mean, some of these picks, it's like, how could you have taken
research Spherical Earth also in the Circa Survivor also had Miami. He said he's in to chop it. So.
Nice. All right, so that's 4.
We're just gonna get the entire audience to show up at Circa one night. All right, how are there's like 80 guys here? Everyone in to split 9 million. All right.
I mean, I got a share of 2 entries. That's still live.
Ryan's ultimate game theory.
I'm rolling an implied value. I'm fucking rock hard.
Seattle 37, Panthers 27.
Wow.
Seattle, they let them hang around. Eventually pulled away. Adam Thielen going off. So hopefully you listen to some of the prop stuff we were talking about. Not like an amazing. The Panthers team, if they're going to keep playing Bryce Young, that offense is pretty cooked. Andy Dalton at least was able to hit some big 3rd downs, a couple deep shots to Chark, was able to stand in there, see the offense a little bit. I think this is an L for the Panthers, obviously, but an L for Bryce Young because Andy Dalton immediately looked better.
Confirmed that he was benched.
Well, the media team kept going. I would talk to Frank Reich, and Frank, he said, It felt pretty good about Andy Dalton. Didn't want to rush things back with old Bryce Young. Let him see the field here a little bit. It was a lot of that stuff. Just to me, I think he was benched.
Yeah.
Brian, how about those Cowboys losing 28-16? Of course, we were on the Cardinals system play. Josh Dobbs, the astronaut, played pretty well. James Conner had a good game, and this was no fluke. This was just classic. And Ryan, check the phone line, see if Serial is calling in. I assume.
No, he's not here.
Oh, okay. See, come on.
Yeah, no, Serial. That's weird. I thought I was worried about Easy having connectivity problems, but he was good to go.
He somehow was able to make it.
Must have that ISDN. Serial though, strangely not here.
They just outplayed him, and I'm sure if you're a Cowboys fan, you're like, all right, this is a look ahead.
That's a bad loss.
They were dealing with some offensive line injuries, but this was setting up almost like every other Cardinals game where they get out to an early lead, look good in the first half, and kind of fall apart. But they didn't completely fall apart. Got a nice Dak, aka Rain Dakota Prescott interception in the end zone to ice it. But I mean, they just outplayed them. You look at like yards per play. I mean, Cardinals put up 222 rushing yards. I think we got the Dak interception here.
And we do have a caller.
YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast.
Not that loser Serial.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a still image. I don't know what Dak is Rain Dakota is seeing here.
He's not seeing it. That's
see red in the red zone. This is just
how
awesome.
Intimidating, huh?
This is just awesome. It was just a great loss for the Dallas Cowboys, and they dumped the Gatorade. Literally dumped the Gatorade.
Whoa.
So could be a good time to fade the Cardinals next week.
Did write that down. And Sean,
it was so bad for Dak, Ryan. Don't mean to interrupt, but I just wanted to for Rain Dakota. Okay. It was so bad for him. Trey Lance was trending on X.
They should at least.
It was that bad.
They should at least give him a look, right? I mean, guys coming in from that system.
Oh man, Trey Lance getting a non-injury start in this Cowboy season would just be so delicious.
Sean, I'm looking at who we selected for next week.
Already know
Niners, baby.
Niners at Arizona. Bang bang.
Dump the Gatorade.
I mean, if there is a time you want to play the Cardinals, it's after it is a division game, but we got to see.
Oh, there's nothing to see. We have a caller. Would you like to?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
We had DC Sports Messiah. I will say some more feedback for the Space Clan over there, Elon. Maybe make the name a little bit bigger. It's a little bit hard to see. Anyway, we're getting that space latency.
Yeah, he's probably going to want to talk about his Commanders.
Oh no,
I would guess.
Wonder if he knows what a Commander is.
Still unclear. It was funny when Joe Theismann had to try to explain what a Commander was, and then how we should talk to Colby and get Colby on board with the Commander name.
He did have the talking points.
Or like, sorry, Joe, I'm fine calling them Commanders because football team was a better name. But
give it time.
Colby's not getting on board with that. DC Sports Messiah, you're on the line.
Yo, what's going on, guys? This is a little bit weird, but my name is Troy because I'm actually a Cowboys fan. I was named after Mr. Aikman.
Oh my God,
no. Ryan,
that is a disgusting act.
I don't know. I didn't.
How did we let this man on?
Well, fire the call screener.
Brave man calling in after that Cowboys game. What's your spin on that game?
The spin on that game was pretty easy. I know everybody's going to look for some kind of an excuse with the 3 offensive linemen being out, and they want to think of themselves as a power running team. But in order to succeed in the NFL, you can't have like an average depth of throw at 2.5 yards. And that's the Dak Prescott style, man.
Yeah, no Kellen Moore. Obviously he looked, the Chargers offense has been bonkers. It's not the trouble there in Los Angeles, but are you worried about the Cowboys moving forward? Are you part of the bench Dak crowd, or you think it's an OC related issue?
I've been a part of the bench Dak crowd since Tony Romo came back for that last drive against the Eagles. I think they should have rolled with Tony in that playoffs multiple years ago. What was that? 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
He can't push the ball down the field. When the other team knows he's throwing the ball, he makes mistakes. And because of that, there's no way that they're going to ever make it to the level they want to with Dak Prescott as their quarterback.
Wow.
I mean, I love this take. Are you this is just great. Are you calling for Trey Lance? Are you on the Cowboys message boards going put in Trey, give Trey a chance?
Not quite. I mean, at this point, I would almost think of it as there's not much to lose because no matter how good the defense plays, I mean, Trayvon Diggs goes down, they're going to see the same things they saw last year where the teams just pick on the opposing cornerback away from Gilmore, and there's not much you can do about that. That being said, even if the defense plays well, it's going to come onto Dak's shoulders, and not that I think Trey Lance is going to be any better, but like you watch the Red Rocket at least make plays happen in Carolina.
Yeah. No,
so
he had some
why would you let somebody like that go that is willing to sit there and be ready to come in and make plays?
I love this. Shouldn't have let Andy Dalton go. That is the stage where we're at of the Cowboys season. That is pretty good there.
Yikes! I mean, they did lose to the Cardinals.
Yeah, you're definitely.
Here's the worst part for the Cowboys fans is there are a lot of Cowboys fans pointing out that the comeback that Mr. Dan Jones, aka Vanilla Vic, had didn't count because because the Cardinals fucking sucked. So many Cowboys fans telling me the Cardinals fucking suck. They suck so bad, nothing counted. Fuck you.
Well, Cowboys would be a close your eyes special, Ryan, because they did underperform the spread by 21 points. But I assume they're a favorite at home against the Patriots next week.
They are.
Well, Troy, you got any picks for Monday night?
Probably unders. The Monday night games have been in like injury riddled and laden, and things haven't really come through that well. We've been hyping up a few Monday night games and it's been kind of, so maybe look in the unders.
All right. Well, Troy, appreciate it. And obviously worst of luck with the season. Go Birds.
You guys got that division locked. No problem.
Don't do that. No need to jinx us, but thanks for calling in.
There's a guy in DC talking about how bad his Cowboys are. So somewhat unbiased.
Well, appreciate it, Troy. Thanks for calling in, man.
Let it ride.
Let it ride. Let's see now. Serial has Wi-Fi issues, but Troy, being a big man,
I gotta be honest. I'm pretty disappointed in Serial.
He is soggy right now. Chiefs. Let's close it out. Chiefs 41, Bears 10. I don't know what you take away from this game, Ryan.
Well, very.
Except that we probably need a new quarterback.
Yeah,
we need a new quarterback in fantasy because I think I even said it on the pick show. If he cannot get here in garbage time with plenty of opportunities to rush, we just need to get rid of Justin Fields. What do you do if you're the Bears, man? It is bad. Your defense sucks and your quarterback sucks.
Yeah, but
the only good news.
Wait a second. You got picks.
The only good.
You got the Panthers picks. They look like
that's true. The only good news is, quote, according to Adam Schefter, the reason that Alan Williams resigned as the defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears was because of inappropriate activity.
Oh no.
And the Bears HR was involved. So this to me is
and there was an FBI raid.
That hasn't been confirmed.
The house one has, not the office.
The house one was confirmed.
I thought the house one was reported by Real News.
So that version at least seems
X News
seems almost better than some of the rumors that were flying around initially. So I guess if you're a Bears fan,
what about that makes it better for you? As someone, HR would be involved in anything.
Well, inappropriate activity. Maybe there's a hot secretary sending some inappropriate emails, DMs to.
Oh no. No. You don't get it. Again, they didn't say anything about him leaving, and
that is
it was a
flag.
family and medical thing. It's getting like, come on.
Yeah, I have here's my prediction.
He's got to step back to deal with some family medical emergency.
Yeah,
inappropriate activities in the office.
Yeah, when we find out actually what happened,
I don't mean to laugh.
His excuse of family medical, I think, will be completely hilarious. Mojo in the YouTube chat saying house raid was fake. So
okay.
I'm sure there's just a lot of rumors around. We will eventually get the story, and I will stand by my lead pipe lock that his version of leaving to spend more time with family and medical situation will be hilariously wrong as to what was actually going on.
Was it? Yeah. Was it related to the lawn cutting equipment and gators that were stolen from?
Is that what got stolen?
Yeah, it was. I was really hoping it'd be hard drives, security equipment. Nope. It was like, gas cans and fucking gators.
The worst part is, the Bears lost a really bad game, but maybe they shake it off. After all, it's been a cruel summer for them, and maybe there's some bad blood between the Bears and the Chiefs. Every single fucking person doing highlights, announcing now that Taylor Swift was at the game is doing these like really just crowbarring. Ian Eagle did one early on last week. That was okay, fine. Now moving on. But then Taylor Swift shows up at the game. I'm addressing her as an Eagles fan. Taylor, yeah, okay. You find a different player attractive. There's no hot guys on the Eagles. What are you doing here? Travis Kelce. Also, Travis Kelce, like, come on, he's on dating shows. You can do better than that. And you immediately start rocking the Chiefs gear. You're hanging out with his mom. You guys just started hanging out. This is going to lead to more heartbreak. Travis Kelce is going to be in some fucking song where she won't say Travis Kelce, but it'll be like, you were going long and it was all going wrong. And I just can see it coming and it's fucking annoying. All right. I'm off my soapbox.
I did have concerns when I saw her sitting next to the mom.
You can go it wrong.
I did try to convince myself that maybe she's a fan. So
all
it's
you
less
did
weird.
was catch. Didn't like my snatch.
Now here's the problem.
It's probably not a Taylor Swift song.
Travis Kelce already fucked up. You bringing her into the locker room? That's not,
dude. Come on.
Dude.
I mean, they were asking the funniest.
You see how embarrassed he was to be holding her hand walking out of the locker room? He had to look like, why the fuck you standing there recording me, bitch?
The funniest was Patrick Mahomes. They're like, yeah, having this dominating win. They're like, so did you see Tay was at the game? And you could tell he just goes, oh my God, I just got rid of my brother. And now we're bringing in Taylor Swift. I told my wife to stay home because we have a annoying lady policy in the team.
That's the real take. Travis Kelce's fucking it up for Patrick Mahomes because now Brittany's going to be back in the locker room.
It was just
she can go in the locker room and I can't go in the locker room. Oh fuck, dude, Travis, you fucked up.
It was just shot after shot of her reacting. Someone had a great tweet. It was like I think it's a guy who runs the South Point. And he just wrote, "Tell Taylor they're playing the Bears," because she was going nuts, celebrating the victory. But also, you're an Eagles fan. The Chiefs beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Like, come on. Yeah.
This is disgusting.
It was.
That is a disgusting act.
I don't even know where to go from there.
Do you take the card away, or how does that work?
We'll see. She's in timeout.
Clip her wings.
Hey Ryan, we got some Monday Night Football props. Of course, if you're looking to get action on Monday night, of course, go to underdogfantasy.com. Use a promo code SGPN. Get the 100% deposit bonus up to $500 now. Some of the numbers we're using in the next segment we got from Underdog. Some are from other spots, but there are just so many ways to get down on the action over at Underdog Fantasy. I played the 100K giveaway. We'll see if I'm one of the 10 lucky winners. But yeah, the higher lower over there is just it's a ton of fun and highly recommend it. You just heard Cameron Kerr hit his 91-1, which is just bonkers. So yeah, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN, and of course Hall of Fame bets. That's right, baby. Fire up that parlay optimizer. Felt like I did a nice week with the props. I've been using this thing. This is awesome because when we get an advertiser of something that I really like and use all the time, it makes it so much easier to talk about. And Hall of Fame bets saves you a shit ton of time. As a guy who's always digging in through all the old box scores, looking through, okay, against the Vikings, how many times have they done this? Outdoor, home road splits. It's great because they sync it up with the sports books and like every sort of line you want to investigate the historical data to, they got it there. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Try it for a month. I think you're going to like it. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Kramer, what do we got here? First, we're doing 5. and first touchdowns.
Yeah. I went a little, I said, I think I was a little frustrated with this past week.
Okay.
And so I approach things with a different perspective. You'll see. I'll start with one that makes a lot of sense. AJ Brown. We'll start in your Eagles game.
Yes. What do you got?
AJ Brown, 100 yards plus 290.
Yeah, I got AJ Brown anytime touchdown, but I think any of the AJ Brown props are live. I think they're going to be able to throw on this team. I mean, just looking back in hindsight, the Bucs 2 wins have come against the Vikings and the Bears, and the Bears were hanging around against that Bucs team. The Bucs have yet to commit a turnover. I think they're going to be able to throw on them is my biggest takeaway. And I think lead pipe lock, we'll save for the first touchdown bets, but the 2-game streak of the Bucs not turning the ball over comes to an end Monday night.
Really?
That's my lead pipe lock, Ryan.
Nice. Yeah. I just, again, squeaky wheel meets advantageous matchup meets game. I actually, what turned me on to this one was I do think that I think Baker and this offense could push him against the Eagles defense. Yeah. I mean, I think it probably also involves a turnover, but AJ Brown, 100 yards, it's almost 3-1, Sean.
Yeah.
There's no way
crazy.
that price is that on like kickoff time tomorrow.
No. Going back to just steady Eddie, Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. If they're going to keep giving you even money, or Underdog Fantasy has it as one of their plays there. If they offer like 1.5 as a spicy play, I think that's interesting. But
they would never.
He scores a rushing touchdown in like 60 to 70% of their games. Just auto play him anytime touchdown every time they have a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a plus EV opportunity.
Simple.
It's really not that crazy. What else you like, Ryan?
All right, I'll pop all over the place. I'll hop over to the next game. Kyron Williams, which the notes app keeps trying to autocorrect to Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams over 57.5 rushing yards. Obviously, Cam Akers gone. Ronnie Rivers there. He'll be the backup now, but 57.5 in this matchup. I do think that they're going to run the ball. That's what McVay wants to do. It's the reason why everything else is looking so good is that they've been able to run the ball. So I honestly, Sean, this is the wrong price. You look at the volume he's been getting, and specifically, like you have to put the volume in perspective. Cam Akers got 22 carries that first week for some strange reason. And so he's gotten the bulk load since then, and he's looked a lot better. Some pop, and the film nerds will tell you that this is a huge matchup advantage for the Rams offensive line against the Bengals defensive line and their ability to defend gap concepts. That
going in deep.
No, not me. Other people. 57.5
okay.
rushing yards. Let's go over Kyron Williams.
I don't understand this. Matt Stafford has been dialed in, I thought, both in Seattle and then even at home against the 49ers. Didn't get it done, but he's been very accurate. He's been very mobile in the pocket. He's got 2 receivers and Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua that he likes. Matt Stafford over 254.5 passing yards. I feel pretty good about. I mean, this Bengals defense hasn't looked lights out by any means. His first 2 games, 334 and 307. I mean, I would even look to maybe an alt play here on Matt Stafford passing yards, but and they've even gotten, not only, I think he's looked good throwing the ball deep downfield, but also they've getting back to Kyron Williams, that interception that bounced off his hands that kind of changed the game. For the most part, though, they've also been getting the running backs involved in the passing game. So I think he has a pretty good opportunity here to get to 254.5. So I like that number a lot.
Sweet. I mean, and that's just the idea that, maybe how many more weeks before Puka Nacua is not a fluke?
Yeah. I mean, what is his offensive rookie of the year price?
I think when I looked, he was the 4th favorite, maybe.
Okay.
Which I'll pull it. Oh, here we go. It's he's after, so Bijan 250, Anthony Richardson plus 350, which that has to change. Devin Achane down to plus 650, Puka Nacua plus 750, CJ Stroud 10-1.
Yeah, I mean,
CJ Stroud still stands out to me as good value.
Yeah,
he's a quarterback.
Although it'll be interesting because if Anthony Richardson comes back and they somehow sneak into the playoffs,
they play each other.
That's also true. Yeah, you're right.
That will kind of sort itself out. So they'll just have to those games become critical.
Ryan, we also well, I mean, I don't know when we talk about it, but is Joe Burrow playing? I mean, they signed AJ McCarron. To me, that means Joe Burrow is not playing. The line has gone down a little bit. Now it's at 2. What are we doing?
The line moving means he's not playing. I think because the second you move under 3, you can't go back, and so he's not playing. I think that's 100%.
Okay.
Why it hasn't gotten why it doesn't immediately go to Rams -1?
Yeah,
I don't know. Now, am I happy I'm sitting with +3 in my pocket? Yes. Is that why we said take the 3? Yes. We didn't understand the splitting the difference. It didn't make sense. It was never going to be more valuable to buy it than if Burrow was playing versus the move the other way. And I think the signing, we were discussing this, but the signing of AJ McCarron, shout out to Battlehawks legend, Kaka.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Who, by the way, he joined. Gotta love the idea that he went and played in the XFL, so he could just have his son watch him actually play football. Well, maybe we don't know if he's going to get the start here. Probably going to be the Jake Browning kid.
Yeah, they can't bring in AJ McCarron.
No,
sign him on Saturday.
The reason you bring in AJ McCarron, they cut the guy. They cut a developmental guy to bring in AJ McCarron is because you need someone that if Browning gets hurt, he at least can operate the offense. He's been in the offense before. He obviously, if you watch the XFL, he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So yeah, I great.
So we're saying not playing.
100%.
Yeah.
I again, you can't drop the line beneath 3 and then he plays and you get completely fucked. That would be one of those moments like Derek's like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. All right, next up, the Eagles have really struggled against the tight end.
Oh, is this a Cade Otton play?
It is. Are you in on a Cade Otton play?
No. I'm never gonna have any positive opponent plays, but Adam Rosenberg, he's been texting me. He likes Cade Otton, even though he's an Eagles fan. But yeah, I cannot put Cade Otton in there. What do you got? You got a Cade Otton receiving. His yardage, I think, is pretty low, like 25.5.
His numbers are pretty low. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take longest reception over 13.5 yards. I think the issue with the Eagles linebacking core is that they're allowing like yards after the catch. It's not just that there's like if you go back and watch what the Patriots did, for example, it was a lot of stuff where they were unable to cover these tight ends who were doing enough to get open in these option routes. And basically Cade Otton does a lot of that shit. And I'd imagine he's going to have lots of opportunities to go over this. Maybe you want to get crazy and go 50 yards plus 230, 100 yards is like, I don't know, 5-1, 9-1 maybe. But I thought attacking the longest catch because it seems too obvious. I got a little concerned about that. Maybe the Eagles are doing something a little different. I think it's been a critical piece of the offense. Mike Evans, obvious, but yeah, Cade Otton over 13.5 longest reception. I do think that the Eagles are going to have to sort some stuff out because it's not just the linebacking core.
They do get Reed Blankenship back.
Is he going to be the guy?
Reed is great as a safety there, but again, he was there. He had some nice pass breakups in the Patriots game, but he was there when the tight ends kind of got there. Both games have kind of been weird game flow as well. So we'll see. For me, Hassan Reddick doesn't have a sack. I think that changes tonight. Give me Hassan Reddick over a half sack. I still think he's a really good elite pass rusher. I think the Bucs will have to give some help inside. And
what's his price?
I got this on Underdog,
okay.
So it's just higher a half sack. So I imagine it's, if you look at the sports book there, it's probably close to even money as well. I think he's due. He had a thumb surgery August. He's been playing, like his snap share is good. He just hasn't gotten home. I think having that mini bye helped. You get the hand healthy. It's helpful, obviously, in your pass rush moves. But yeah, I think this is a good. We've heard from a lot of the guys on the D line, and I think we will hear a lot from them. And he's in like 70% of the snaps, so he's obviously there.
Yeah, I think only Josh Sweat and Fletcher Cox more snaps on the D line.
Yeah, and I think he's just so due for a sack. He had almost led the league if you include playoffs last year. It was like him and Nick Bosa. So I think this is like a get right spot for him.
Could be. Is it like Vikings level regression happening to Hassan Reddick?
I hope so. We just haven't heard from him. I think he's gonna get one. So yeah, give me Hassan Reddick.
All right, let's pop back over to the Bengals game. I don't know if you've been paying deep attention to the injury reports, but we're all aware of what's happening with Burrow, and it slid through the cracks. Was Irv Smith doubtful? Ooh. Irv Smith not going to play. Backup Drew Sample.
So yeah, I was going back and forth. Drew Sample or Mitchell Wilcox. What are you seeing?
Well, I think based on usage, Drew Sample.
Okay.
Based on like what they've done already.
Yeah.
If I was playing a touchdown market, I think I might look to Mitchell Wilcox, but I'm not playing a touchdown market.
What do you got?
25 yards is plus 235.
Oh man.
50 yards is plus 950.
Let's go.
Jake Browning, a lot of reps with Drew Sample in the summer months.
Yeah.
I do think the tight end is the kind of the thing you work into the offense when you're bringing in someone who's going to be terrified and probably not going to have a ton of time. And again, I stumbled into this by way of I was reading this article on basically at like where the biggest edges in the prop market are right now, and one of the theses was these types, which I was shocked to see. These types of bets often provide value because they will not be priced accordingly. And so in the Drew Sample case, his yardage prop or his receptions prop is 1.5. Yet you can play his alternate first ladder price at plus 235 at 25 yards. So, and by the way, the over 1.5 is minus 130. Again, they might not be watching the games. They're certainly not. This is not the touchdown markets are priced like he's going to play a lot.
Who?
Drew Sample.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause
the yardage markets are not.
Yeah. Let's get to the first touchdown.
Wait, have we? Yeah, we've got.
What?
Nothing. Continue.
I was going to give out my fifth prop. Have you given out your fifth one?
No, I have not.
Okay. This is just me trying to move the show along.
I see.
Joe Mixon.
Sean has somewhere to be.
No, he
doesn't like talking ball.
No, I do.
Sorry, guys.
I'm going Joe Mixon over 14.5 rush attempts. He's had 13 in those first couple games, but I think this is a game where, yeah, I mean, I think they're going to have to lean on him. Either it's a very hurt Joe Burrow or it's Jake Browning. Again, a guy who's thrown one pass in the NFL. So to me, that is a smash spot for Joe Mixon.
Oh, dude, we're lockstep here. Joe Mixon, alternate rushing yards. This is I honestly like this. We're probably this is a company investment.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon rushes for 100 yards is plus 550.
Oh, woo-hoo. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, again, it's the idea that you don't have Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Already, Joe Mixon's probably been your most productive player. No offense to Jamar Chase or T Higgins, but they haven't been getting it done. And again, the offensive line has had issues. It's not just Joe Burrow's leg. So I think in this kind of game, you're gonna, and I doubt the Rams are going to be able to stretch out a lead where you take Joe Mixon out of the game. So I think Joe Mixon is going to be leaned on heavy here. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, doesn't that price strike you as odd?
Yeah,
5.5 to 1. 75 yards is 185.
Yeah, no, that's way off.
All right.
Do you have a fifth one, or that was
my fifth one? I was. It was a beautiful, quick transition, so we could get you to wherever you need to be.
Monday Night Football.
Getting some hot cakes and binions.
It's a joke for two people.
Yeah, that's for us. It doesn't have to be for anyone else.
Eagles at Bucs. Here's my plays for the first touchdown. Eagles defense. Like I said, they haven't turned the ball over. That could change come Monday night. 25-1. AJ Brown. I rarely go chalk, but unfortunately, the Eagles aren't super fun. Their first touchdowns do inevitably kind of lean a little chalkier to me. It's the AJ Brown show. 8-1, and then this is the only long shot I could find that made sense for the Eagles. I have no first touchdowns for the Bucs. Olamide Zacchaeus 30-1. Quez Watkins is out. He is the guy that they could use in the red zone. Decent size frame. Had some decent looks there in the preseason. So yeah, Quez Watkins is out. Zacchaeus, might get a look. 30-1. AJ Brown 8-1. Eagles D 25-1.
All right.
Kramer?
I went all 100% tight ends.
Nice.
For the Eagles, I went Dallas Goedert at 12-1. Jack Stoll 45-1.
Stoll's gonna hit one of these times.
For the Bucs, I went K Dot and 15-1 and Keft or Kieft. I'm not sure. People who do this for a living have said it both ways, so I'll split down the middle. I'll say both. 70-1. He has had they've had the Eagles have had no targets to the tight end in the red zone, but guess what, Sean? Your Bucs, which by the way, you have to feel a little bit split on this one with the amount that you've emotionally invested into the Buccaneers this year.
I told you they're going to be, and we'll see. I mean, they played the Vikings and Bears, who, as we've seen, are combined 0-6.
Both K Dot and Keft have a target in the red zone, so
yeah,
he's 70-1, gonna be out there.
That is
he might be
that's how you win some bonkers cash.
So that's my play for the first game. Sean, what do you like for the second game?
Second game is where it gets interesting. I'll start with the Rams. I do like Rams defense special teams at 30-1. And then this guy has already gotten a catch this year for 21 yards. Give me Bryson Hopkins, backup tight end. And he's out there 28%, 11% last week. I think he'll be used in the two tight end stuff. 65-1 for a guy that's already caught a ball and involved, out there at the very least. Bryson Hopkins 65-1.
When you look at his name, do you not in your brain autocorrect it to be like that N shouldn't be there?
Hopkins?
No, Bryson.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it looks like wait, that's Bryce with a weird N at the end. What's going on?
Yeah, you could get me started on actual names versus fake names. Bryson Hopkins. So, and then this to me, of all the first touchdown bets on Monday Night Football, this to me is my favorite.
Let's hear it.
If you're gonna tail it now.
Oh, I like that.
Tail it now while you can. Give me Jake Browning first touchdown, 28-1.
Naturally,
when Burrow is announced the starter, you'll be sitting on a guy who had let's see. I just had it
16 is the number you're looking
16 rushing touchdowns in college for the Washington Huskies. 28-1. You can bet it now. Here's the thing. If Joe Burrow plays the entire game, this voids, right? You have to see a snap.
Jake Browning would have to play us. But God help us if he had it's out of hand and Burrow's too hard to finish.
Yeah, that would be the worst. But then you're not hit. It's a moot point. Same thing with the Ronnie Bell. Like if Ronnie Bell didn't play, you got that voided and refunded. Like there was probably a world where he was going to play regardless. But
yeah, that's a little bit different of a situation. But with a quarterback, I think you're pretty safe.
And then I had Travion Williams. I thought Irv Smith was questionable. I didn't realize he was doubtful. So now I'm questioning. Do I go Travion Williams or do I toss in?
No, Travion Williams is stupid.
You don't like Travion Williams? I
don't think they're going to get cute in the running back situation.
All right. So then do I go Mitchell Wilcox or Drew Sample, Ryan?
You take one. I already gave out. I'll take the Drew Sample side. You take Mitchell Wilcox.
And what is he? He's 25-1.
25 to 1.
Okay, yeah, I'll go Mitchell Wilcox. He could be the starting tight end. I think to Kramer's point, both will be involved near the goal line. So yeah, give me. So Mitchell Wilcox 25 to 1, Jake Browning 28 to 1, Rams D 30 to 1, Bryson Hopkins 65 to 1.
Yeah, so obviously I agree with your Jake Browning take. He's a running quarterback. He's 28 to 1. This is horribly mispriced. They don't watch the college games. The pro first touchdown guys, they don't watch the games in college. And I also I'll Drew Sample again, the angle of the him wanting to throw to the tight end, easy 19 to 1 for Drew Sample. And then obviously you have Jake Browning, a guy that no one believes is going to look very good. So you have to take the Rams defense at 30 to 1. And then I wanted to, I have a feeling that they're still going to run another back out there. Last week, they only had Ronnie Rivers out there 5% of the time. I think McVay will realize when he watches his own game tape that was wrong. So give me Ronnie Rivers 22 to 1, dark horse for him to bust something there. And by the way, he was an interesting, almost most likely Degen. Has some fun stories of him doing well at the casino. So Ronnie Rivers 22 to 1 is my other Ram.
Love it. All right. Anything else, Kramer? Are we gonna give out a? Do you got a good Degen play here?
Oh, you really? I mean, where are you headed? Little Deshaun Watson massage.
Oh no,
little something's going on.
What's your Degen play for Monday Night Football?
I wanted to try something new.
Okay,
so I was trolling around and I was trying to. It felt forced. All these parlays I was making just felt forced. We were talking about this. I've never done it, so I figured let's pop the cherry. I'm gonna parlay just 2 first touchdowns.
Oh man!
Fuck you, America.
Oh my God!
Do they let you do that?
Do they let you do that? They absolutely let you do that.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna zoom in on 2 that I gave out. Give me K Dot with the Rams defense. So it's a 15 to 1 with a 30 to 1. Pays plus 49500. Sean, that's 495 to 1.
Wow.
You should probably give out something a little bit more conservative.
All right. I like some stuff here in the Rams game. I've been debating which one to give out. Obviously, it's going to be tied to Rams money line.
You don't want to give out like an Eagles 3 touchdown. AJ Brown 3 touchdowns is 40 to 1. That's basically one thing happening.
AJ Brown 3 touchdowns is 40 to 1. All right, hold on. Let me go back.
Yeah. What? I mean, feel free to hit the reset button here. It feels like great value. 9. Oh.
Okay, so AJ Brown 3 touchdowns. I'm on board with that, and then Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown.
Oh,
that's all you need.
That's kind of negative correlation, right?
What do you mean?
I mean, they got to score more points.
Yeah, that's 80 to 1. AJ Brown 3 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts 1 touchdown.
That's cute. It's 1/6 the size of mine.
Well, mine at least has somewhat of a chance to hit.
All right, great show, Sean. I know you got to be somewhere, so let's get out of here. Great doubleheader on Monday night. We'll be live after the show.
Sorry about your Falcons.
Scheduling note: we will be talking Thursday night props tomorrow night after the game.
We are bumping college. We will tape Tuesday night 8:30 Pacific on YouTube because of to make way for Colby's.
Colby had an incident in Laramie, so he's coming back a little later than expected. Well, maybe we'll discuss on the show. You'll have to tune in Tuesday night for the college football picks.
Stay tuned. Shout out to Manscaped. Get that new beard trimmer. Love that thing. Love me a beard hedger. Love the handy man skin safe.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Yes, Sean. Great weekend. Good luck tomorrow.
Kramer. Let it ride.